This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author 3 times over, and Ramsey personality, and my daughter is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Mark starts off this hour in Chattanooga. Hey, Mark, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you doing?
Better than your phone. What's up?
That's better, Mark. Yes, that's better.
Sorry. So my question is, I'm doing baby steps. I'm on number 2. I'm self-employed. It's just me, sole proprietor. And my accountant is telling me that I'm on track this year to end up on the IRS of between $5 and $6 grand. He's saying, if you're thinking about buying a truck for your business, this is the time to do it. So you will have that as a write-off instead of paying it into the IRS. But he doesn't really explain it in a way that I can understand it. He's a good accountant, but he can't explain anything very well. So is this a good move or not?
It's a great question. Were you planning on buying a truck, Mark?
Not really. I have a truck. It is getting old, but it's still good enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mark, I've got really bad news. You need to fire your accountant. He's an idiot. Okay. Let me tell you why he's an idiot. Here's the math. If you buy a $30,000 truck and write it off over 3 years, you get to write off $10,000 a year. If you're in a 25% tax bracket, that saves you $2,500 in taxes in year 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And so you just wrote a $30,000 check to offset a $2,500 expense. And oh, by the way, you have a $5,000 expense. So you'd have to buy a $60,000 truck to offset $5K this year. This guy's a moron.
Okay.
That's dumb.
Okay.
You follow me? That's just dumb. Now, if you need a $60,000 or a $30,000 or a $10,000 truck for your business because you can make more on your business as a result of having invested in equipment, that is the only time in business that we buy things. We do not ever buy things solely for the write-off, because a write-off is a tax deduction, not a tax credit, meaning that you take if I do a $10,000 expense and I'm in a 25% tax bracket, it saves me $2,500. I'm trading $1 for a quarter. Not a good trade.
Okay, Mark, I feel the wheels turning. Go back to what you just said at the very beginning, Dave. Go slow in that. When you said you'd have to buy a $30,000, because it's not a credit. It's not like, you have to write off $5,000 so you could go get a $5,000 truck and have it paid for the taxes you were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your taxes never pay for the item, ever, because you get a tax deduction, which means the amount of money that you spend on the item in business if it's a business expense, comes off of your taxable income. So you're gonna if you spend $10,000 on an item for business, then that means you don't pay taxes on $10,000 of your income because you just expensed it. You did not make as much profit. In other words, you follow me?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And so what it does is it saves you the taxes on the $10,000, which would be about $2,500, $3,000. Something like that. It does not save you $10,000. So there's no time in the equation ever that you put out $10,000 and it saves you $10,000 in taxes. There's only one time that happens, and it's 1% of the time. It's called a tax credit, and it never applies to these situations that we're talking about here. And so anytime your accountant tells you, people out there in the world that have a business, that you need to go buy something to save on taxes, he or she is saying, please, it is my advice for you to go trade $1 for a quarter.
Okay.
Now, if you want to need to buy something for your business, again, separate discussion, not taxes, But if you want to spend money on your business and it's going to make you more than it costs you, that's called an investment, and that's what we always do in business. And I spent more than $10,000 probably in the last few minutes here, and I don't even know what I did with it. It's been around this place. But
and Mark, too, I would say earlier, too, when you mentioned that he can't explain stuff to where you can really understand, that's an issue, too. And that's true with your investment professional that you're working with. That's true with your insurance, tax pros. I mean, anyone that's in these really niche parts of your life and your money that save or cost you a lot and handle that part, you really want to know the ins and outs. So the fact that he keeps talking over your head and you can't just use layman terms to sit there and explain it to me, that's a big red flag too.
Yeah. So the kind of investment you do is you go, okay, if we had an extra truck, we could make another $100,000 a year, because that truck would generate that much revenue. The fact that we had that truck would help us generate revenue. And if you can make an extra $100,000 a year and you want to spend $20,000 and you have $20,000 in cash and buy a truck, well, you do that all day long.
Okay, can I ask you this? So I was on Instagram. I know. We're about to go down this rabbit hole. Yeah. Prepare your hearts, everyone. And it was on like in your algorithm, there's like a part that it's just like feeds you content, right? That you just look up and it's just random stuff, other stuff you've looked at in the past.
So it's sending you crap because you had previously been to crap sites?
I don't know, maybe, or it says, oh, they like this, so this, and this. Okay, so one of mine came up and it said on the screen, and it was a reel, so you could see it was a video, and it said something like the smartest purchase rich people make, and it's a private plane on the reel. So I was like, oh, that's fascinating. So I click on it, and basically the guy was saying one of the smartest ways for people, one of the smartest, I don't know if he used the word investments, purchases for rich people to make are private planes, because they can write it off within their business. It's not the luxury end, it's not the convenience, but they can write it off. So again, I know we're talking about a truck here, and I just jumped to it. Like,
yeah, you jumped to a jet.
Oh, I jumped like way ahead. I know, but same philosophy is with that. Would that be
because you can only write it off to the extent you use it for business. And so if a rich person has a business and they buy a jet,
yes,
okay, and the only thing they do is fly their family on vacation, they cannot write the jet off at all.
Yes. But if they use it for business,
100% for business, they can write it off 100%.
Okay.
But it's the same thing with a truck.
Yes.
It's the same thing with a computer.
Yeah, but to save on tax, but the write-off, but you're still buying
it's still a deduction.
Extreme price tag.
And there are a few items in the current tax law that's shifting very rapidly that can all be written off in 1 year. Okay, and a jet happens to be one of those.
So was my guy right on Instagram?
No, he's not.
Because in the same vein of the truck.
Still, if you spend $10 million on a jet,
yeah,
okay, and you use it 100% for business,
yeah,
and you write off 100% of the $10 million, you still only saved, if you're in a 40% tax bracket then, you still only saved $4 million.
Not the full $10 million.
You still spent 10 and saved 4.
Yep.
Now, the jet costs you a little less after taxes.
Sure.
But
just like the truck would, but proportion-wise.
It's not free. You need to go spend more money to save money is mathematical horse crap. Whether you put millions on it or $10,000 on it.
That's what we needed. That's the bow we needed, America.
There it is right there. Mathematical horse crap. I'm not even sure what that is. But all right, this is the Ramsey Show. Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. A lot of people would rather spend their weekend doing yard work than talk about insurance. These are not two good choices. Here's the deal. If you don't take the time to learn about this stuff, you'll always feel like you're getting ripped off in insurance, and it's probably because you are. Around here, we think learning about money should be simple, even fun. Our new Confidence in Your Coverage, your free 5-day guide to insurance, makes learning about insurance quick and practical and free. And you might even laugh out loud a time or two, because it is, of course, our one and only George Camel, Ramsey personality. We'll walk you through a new insurance topic, unpacking everything you need to get the right coverage for you. To top it off, we're doing a giveaway for the folks who sign up. We'll have even more details on that coming soon. At the end of the series, you'll still have yard work, but at least you'll know your stuff when it comes to insurance. Go to RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Sign up. It's free. George Camel is funny and informative. Check it out. RamseySolutions.com/confidence. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Angela in South Carolina. My husband and I are closing soon on the sale of 27 acres that my parents gave us. To avoid taxes on the $1.8 million that we will receive at closing, we are looking at these options: buying an Airbnb or rental property, or putting the money in real estate, in a real estate investment trust company, or adding it in our Roth accounts. We have a financial advisor. However, we listen to the show and know that you have much wisdom to offer. We want to be good stewards of the money. What should we do with this money? Dun, dun, dun. $1.8 million.
I hate it when that happens.
Man.
That's awesome. Very cool. So
Congrats,
a 1031 tax-deferred exchange is Section 1031 in the IRS code. And it allows you to sell a piece of property into a 1031 escrow account. It's a special escrow account. It costs you about $1,500 to set it up. You need to do it before you close on the property. And so you're going to spend $1,500. You're going to park the money in there. You have 45 days to identify the properties that you're going to purchase with that money. And you have 180 days to close on the properties. It has to be real estate properties that you're going to purchase with that money. That would move the entire amount into other real estate investments with zero taxes. Now, you will pay taxes someday when you sell that other property, but if you sell it while you're alive. But I'm in the midst of doing one of those transactions right now. I sold a piece of real estate that we had, and I closed it into a 1031, and I'm looking for what I'm going to buy with it so that I don't have to pay the taxes on the gain. In your case, the gain is going to be a lot. It's not the whole 1.8, but it's a lot.
It'll be a lot.
Yeah. So, because your basis on the property is whatever your parents that gave it to you paid for it. Mm-hmm. And so, if they paid $100,000 for it and you sold it for 1.7, then your gain is, and you sold it for 1.8, then your gain is 1.7. It's almost the whole stinking thing, in other words. So, yeah,
and taxed at their tax bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be taxed at their tax bracket, or is that a different?
No, it's a capital gains rate, 15%. 15% capital gains rate. But the thing is this: what I would do is buy other real estate with it, because the way she phrased this is that was comfortable to her, right? Putting part of the money in real estate or a real estate investment trust. I mean, you can do
Yeah.
that. You cannot put it into a Roth. The Roth is not like kind. Putting in a Roth doesn't achieve a single thing, so you don't need to do a Roth at all.
What's your feeling about investment companies that you put money in and you own properties all over with a group of people? You don't do that personally, I know, but are you?
Well, there's several different kinds. The ones that are safe, and I don't know if that qualifies for a 1031. You'd have to ask your tax on this, because when you're doing a 1031, it has to be a like-kind exchange.
Yeah.
So you had to sell a piece of ground, a piece of real estate, and buy a piece of real estate. I'm not sure if you bought a real estate investment trust if that's going to count.
If that's the same.
So what a REIT is, REIT, is basically it's a mutual fund for real estate. It's the way it functions. There's a whole bunch of people put money into this mutual fund and they buy real estate with it. So they may buy apartments, they might buy, God help them, shopping malls, probably not, but office buildings, whatever, and Every so often, one of those properties will sell, but it all just stays inside of that REIT. And if you can put the money in that, then that's the REITs in the old days were heavy on fees, and the net on them was not as good as a regular mutual fund, and certainly not as good as real estate. These days, the REITs are strong, and you can.
Why? Because of
the marketplace just demanded they quit feeing their butt off, and so they got their fees up to where they got their fees down to where they're reasonable to run this multi-billion-dollar, trust, and so they're actually they're getting good rates of return. As good as growth stock mutual funds, or better in some cases. If you just shop around, your advisor can probably help you with that.
So for someone like Angela that may not want to fool with a rental property, like if they're we don't want to deal with it.
I mean, you're going from Airbnb, which is about the highest hassle, drive you crazy type of rental property, because you have a renter that's in there for 2 freaking days, and so that's like the worst in terms of hassle factor, but great rates of return if you want to screw with it, all the way over to rental property, and then all the way over to a REIT. So she's got all 3 types on there, like no maintenance, no hassle to the worst hassle on her list here. So I'm thinking she can find something in there that's reasonable rates of return.
In the middle,
with that $1 million. I mean, you can go buy a little office building, a little strip center, and manage it. It's not that hard to manage. Or put a property manager on it and not pay the taxes. I really would, since she's not averse to real estate, I would look at a 1031. And know that's it. There's no. I would not do the Roth. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. And I'm not sure the REIT qualifies. You'd have to ask and find out. And you can't, it's not for your personal residence. This is investment property transactions. All of these are investment property transactions. Your personal residence does not qualify for a 1031, because when you sell your personal residence, married filing jointly, you can make $500,000 profit without having any taxes, and everything after that is taxed, period. And so that you cannot get around that. It's part of the deal. So, all right, open phones at 888-825-5225. Daniel is in Pennsylvania. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I need your help on how to move from a bad history of acquiring debt, failing to keep up with those payments due to an issue with gambling, and now moving into a point of ownership and understanding my responsibility as a father and as a husband to lead my family into a prosperous future.
Wow. That sounds like a story. How long you been dry?
Well, it's going on over a year now, a little over a year, that I finally called it quits. But
how did you quit? Did you get some help, or you just decided you're not going to gamble?
It was kind of cold turkey, but I had to remove myself from those situations by self-exclusion.
Yeah. Did you join like Gamblers Anonymous or anything?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Good for you.
It's amazing.
What were you betting on?
Usually tables, mostly tables.
Okay.
Online too. Online is very dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, it's very dangerous. It's second fastest growing addiction in America today, online gambling. It's destroying families. We're seeing it everywhere. And the sports bet, and it's not a moral judgment. It's just destroying families. We're seeing the sports betting is blowing people up. A good friend of ours the other day that just blew up their whole marriage. The whole thing's gone. Just lost everything betting on stupid games.
So Daniel, for you, is there...
Way to go, man. I'm proud of you.
Amazing. Is there current debt that you're having to pay off?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of debt. I'm sure some debts I don't know about. I would estimate 50 to 60.
What do you make?
I'm sure there's, between my wife and I, probably about 60 per year.
Okay. How much debt have you got?
I'm guessing between 50 and 60.
Okay, good. We can get you out, brother. We want to participate in your healing. We're going to put you into Financial Peace University. You and your wife go through that as our guest. Hang on, and Austin will sign you up, man, and you call us back and let us know how you're doing. I'm proud of you. You're breaking a big-time cycle there. You can do this, but you do need to put some systems in place to do it. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Join us at Ramsey Solutions. We have a nice visitor center here in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of wonderful Nashville, Tennessee. And Franklin's even better than Nashville, by the way. But come on out and visit either one of us. The lobby here is quite an experience. You can watch the show from 1 to 4 Central Time. We do it live every day for 600 plus radio stations and about 20 million of you in podcasts and YouTubes and so forth out there. And the coffee is free. The entrance is free. The homemade chocolate chip cookies are free. And the debt-free stage is right in the middle of it, and that's where Devin and Regina are. Hey, guys, how are you?
Not bad.
Good. How are you, Dave?
Good to have you guys. Where do you live?
Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, fun. Well, welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
$113,803 and some change.
Good for you. How long did this take?
Around 20 months.
Good for you.
Wow.
And your range of income during that time?
100 to about 140.
Good. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a surgical technologist in Springfield, and Devin, well,
I own a lawn care company, but during the debt free journey, did multiple side hustles. So.
Oh, cool. What was your best side hustle? The one that made the most money?
Probably at the time I was working full time. So probably the lawn care, but that's what I took full time. So after that would probably been driving Uber and Lyft.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. Good. Very good. Good for you. Well done. What kind of debt was your $114,000?
we had a little bit of everything. We had a lot of medical bills from between. I had a surgery. He had some things done, and then our oldest daughter has epilepsy, and so through testing and this and that, we had a lot of medical bills. A couple cars, a HELOC, a mower.
She looks at him.
I noticed that.
You know, a couple small credit cards, and then
Y'all were normal.
yeah.
Normal sucks.
And a stupid tax with a timeshare. So.
Oh, just put the icing on the cake
Yeah,
right there.
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Yes.
Legalized fraud called timeshares. Unbelievable. Way to go, you guys. All right, so what happened 20 months ago that set you on fire?
Kind of like you say, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had a surgery, and things were building up, and we had a decent income coming in, but we had no idea where it was going. And I knew
I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck.
But the surgery kind of jolted you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had a little bit of time on my hands.
And you had an extra bill that you didn't have before
Yes.
that, and you're like, oh my God, we got to fix this.
Yeah, and so I knew that he had, he wasn't real happy at his full-time job, and he had a desire to have his own business. And one day I was just sitting there, and I was like, the only way we can do this is if we become debt-free. And so I broke it to him.
You broke it to him.
So what did you say, Devin?
I was on board. I mean, we'd been Dave-ish, in the
Yeah.
past. and then the kids were born, and we had the medical bills, and we kind of fell off, and then when she said it, I was like, I know it works, so let's just do it and get it done.
So you get out the old Total Money Makeover book and dust it off, or what?
Yes.
Exactly.
Literally. Okay.
Yes.
Go back through Financial Peace University, or what?
We didn't. We
Okay.
just
Just did the book.
we knew
You
what
knew
we
what to
needed
do.
to do.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
had to go.
We
Now,
just-
but now it's time.
Yep.
Yes.
Now it's time. Just game on.
Exactly.
right.
Yeah, I love it. Well done. Good. Way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so how long have you guys been married?
12 years.
12 years.
Okay, so what does that look like now? And with your kids, how many kids do y'all have?
Two.
Two.
2 girls.
So what is that as a family doing this? So it's like you've been in a habit for a certain period of time, right, in marriage and with your family, and you guys 20 months ago shifted the way that you're doing life. So how was building those new habits and saying, okay, we're gonna change the way we've been handling money? How hard was it? How did that feel with your family dynamic? Because a lot of people listening, have been married for your time and have kids, and they're fearful to step into change.
Well,
I'll say it was tough at first, but knowing that we could do it, I mean, knowing the plan works, and I just saw on the YouTube channel there, we wanted to take our kids to Disney, and we wanted to do that debt free, not bring that home with us, and so we told the girls, like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and if we accomplish this, then we're going to Disney. And so we went to Disney in March, and we did that completely debt free.
Love it. I love it.
Came home, and it didn't.
So they're
follow us
holding you
home.
accountable big time.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, they were with us every step of the way, and I'd pay off a bill and I'd let them know.
Oh.
I'm like,
We celebrated.
okay. We celebrated
every
after
one of them.
That's
everything.
awesome.
And after we paid off the last one, and they knew it. They're like, we go to Disney this weekend. It's like, no. Now we've got to save for that.
This weekend, but now we do get to go.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Very good. All right. So, what do you tell people the key now that you've done it? You pay off $114,000 in 20 months. That's legitimate. What's the key to getting out of debt?
A budget. I mean, it's just that simple. We had no idea where our money was going, and I sat down and I tried the spreadsheet thing. I tried, the phone apps, and I needed a pencil and a paper, and I sat down. He made fun of me a lot.
I would come home and be like, because every night she was, looking at that, and I'm like, it's not going to change overnight.
Like, yes, it does.
But it did.
It does. And so,
who the nerd and the free spirit are now.
Yeah, we can tell. Yeah, that's good. I like it, though. It's
but
good.
no, the budget was huge.
Now, you knew how to do a budget before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I mean, something after the surgery, he's tired of living paycheck to paycheck. The extra bill comes in. You say enough's enough. How do you tell people out there that are they've been going along Ramsey-ish, and okay, now it's time to get off center. They know how to do a budget too, right? Mm-hmm. But what is it that moves you from ish to game on? What happens down inside of you?
You just have to see that big picture, and that's what I did. I saw going to Disney. I saw going out on my own, owning my own business, and just seeing that bigger picture. That just really changed me.
I wanted just to be able to make a future for our family.
Yeah. Again, a vision, a big picture. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to have something bigger than I'd like to be out of debt.
Yeah.
And that
I'd like to be out of debt, won't do it.
Right.
Well, something that it did for our relationship too, though. I would get sick to my stomach because I wouldn't know, okay, we've got $10 until we get paid again.
And she didn't want to tell me that.
A lot of shame.
Yeah.
Yes, I kept it all in. It's like, okay, we can't. And so I'd send him a text, hey, don't go purchase anything today, or go. And so when we started this budget and started the plan, I was very open. I felt like, okay, he knows what we're trying to do here. And we were able to talk a lot more about it.
You quit carrying the whole thing on your back.
Absolutely.
Both of you are carrying it now.
Yep.
That's huge.
So big. And the freedom of it, the isolation that you feel,
Absolutely.
right? Of
100%.
just, it's all here and I don't want to say it out loud because I don't even want to know the reality. Right? When you say the words, it's like, oh, But now that it's out there, there's like a freedom to it. I love that.
Yep.
And you guys working as a team together.
Yes.
So
great.
proud of y'all. Way to go.
Girls
Thanks,
over there.
Dave.
Rock stars. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's the next chapter in your story. How ordinary people built extraordinary wealth. How you can as well. And, of course, a copy of Total Money Makeover. And we're going to give you a Financial Peace University 1-year subscription to Ramsey Plus. Get you into FPU and into Every Dollar Plus. If you don't want any of that, you can always give it away, pay it forward, because people are going to be asking what happened to you. Your faces have changed. Life is good. I love it. All right, what are the kids' names and ages?
We have Delaney is 10 and Kenley is 6.
All right, and they look
Beautiful.
like Disney veterans to me. All right, $114,000 paid off in 20 months, making $100 to $140. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free.
Those girls' lives are changed because their parents are heroes. It changed everything, man. And nobody fixed it but them. Nobody's coming. You got to fix it. It's your job. Be a grown-up. This is The Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today here on The Ramsey Show. Dustin's with us in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Dustin. How are you?
Hey, I'm well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I have a unique situation. My wife and I got together a few years ago. At the time, we're both in our 30s, both owned homes. And as both homes weren't worth a whole lot as far as much as we'd make for them. So we decided to rent one out. Well, as you know, market's going crazy here. We are on baby step 2, and we are trying to pay off debt. And I know I'll never be able to get a rental property again for as little as I paid for what we have right now. We didn't really set out to be landlords or anything like that, but we were just wondering, is now the time? Should we sell it, go ahead and pay off debt, pay off our house, and just kind of completely skip step 2 that way?
How much can you sell the rental property for?
Roughly net, I make about $240,000.
You'd make that, okay. And how much is your debt?
With car and credit card debts, we got about $57,000. The leftover mortgage on the house we're currently in is about $153,000.
And how much do you guys make a year?
Combined, around $176,000.
100 and what?
76.
70. Oh, dang.
Yeah, you're killing it. Well done.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Dustin, the way we answer questions around here is knowing what I know after 30 years of doing this and living these principles myself, and Rachel growing up on them and writing and talking about them all over America. What would we do if we woke up in your shoes? Okay, I love rental
Right.
property. I'm a real estate guy, so that's disclaimer there. Okay. But if I woke up in your shoes, I also love being debt-free, and I actually love that more than I love rental property. Because being debt-free allows me to save up and pay cash for rental property. Or save up and pay cash for whatever I want to do. Because if you make $176,000 and you don't have a payment in the world, and you actually live on a budget, and you live with intentionality like a grown-up, and not like you're in Congress, right, spending, but I'm talking about really write it down, know where your money's going. You and your spouse are in agreement, and we have some goals with the money. We have some generosity goals, some investment goals, and some enjoyment goals, and they're all part of that. You got so much stinking money coming in with no payments in the world, you can buy another rental property fairly quick.
That's what we kind of figured, if that's the route we even want to go. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So,
and you're not even sure you love this. It's by default, as you said. It wasn't by plan.
Yeah, it wasn't. We just knew we weren't going to make much off of it at the time, so hold on to it. At the time, I currently had a family member that was in need of a place, so we just said, okay, go ahead and start paying rent.
Yeah.
And now I feel like kind of the time to do it, because if we don't do it now, I'll probably have to pay capital gains on it. But I'm still within the 2-year window right now, so it's kind of like now or never,
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you could take the
Do
personal exemption on and pay no taxes. Oh, this is wonderful.
Okay, so Dustin, my only word of caution, because yes, I think sell it, pay off debt, all of it. So there is something to be said, though, about the debt-free journey that people go through. So like this couple that just was on the segment before, 20 months of sacrifice and all that. So when I hear people go through a journey like that, more than likely they're not going back in debt because they felt the pain of the sacrifice to get out. You guys, in a wonderful blessing, are going to get it paid off with, selling this rental property, which is amazing. But
I would like you found a genie and you said, give me 3 wishes, right? One of them's like debt free, right?
Yeah, and you get to be it. So just don't go back to your bad habits, because nothing's going to break those bad habits of the time of sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Of like a debt-free journey that we hear a lot on this show. So you and your wife together, you guys have to like pinky promise in writing, black and white, we are not going back into these habits.
And we're going to take $176,000 and write it down every month where it's going on purpose.
Yes.
And stick to that. I don't care where it goes as long as both of you are in on it and both of you do it on purpose. And because you're not going to do stupid on purpose. Stupid is always an accident. It's always like, I was just driving by the car lot and there's a Porsche, who knew? And so, stupid is never, but if you save up and pay cash for a Porsche, then that's okay, right? Yeah. And so you've got the money to do whatever you want, but don't let bass boats jump into the driveway, and they will. They'll just pop in there. I've seen it happen. And so it's a problem. And so on paper, on purpose, before the month begins the rest of your life, if you can make that promise to yourselves for the good of yourselves.
And no more debt.
No more debt.
Cut up the credit cards. Be done. Be done.
If you can do that, Dustin, then yes, I would sell the rental property and I'd be debt free tomorrow.
It's amazing.
And you're going to have this sense of peace that you had no idea was going to flood over you. You're going to wake up and go, wow, I feel like I just lost 300 pounds. I just feel like a different person. And
they get to pay off their current house, too. They're paying off their mortgage, everything. They're jumping. And then you're going to use some of that for an emergency fund, too, Justin?
Yeah.
Or Dustin, I'm sorry. You guys, you'll be skipping basically right to baby step 7 with this. It's amazing.
Exactly. Well done. Alan's in Tampa. Hey, Alan, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Dave, Miss Rachel. How are you?
Great. What's up?
Well, I'm looking to change careers, and it's going to cost me about $10,000 to do an online course to do this. And I recently sold an extra vehicle that I had. I'm in baby step 2, and so I have the cash to do this course, but I'm really tempted to just throw it at the debt instead. And then they have a month-to-month option on this course. It's not financing. It's if you don't pay, they just pause the program until you have the money to continue it. So,
how long does it take to do it?
9 months.
Okay, so $1,100 a month. What's your income?
My income is my take home on my full-time job is on a 40-hour week is right at $815 a week, and then my second job is right at $300 a week, and then with overtime, which kind of comes and goes, and recently it's been coming more than going, and so I've been averaging right around $1,000 a week at my full-time job take home, but like I said, that's not always.
1,000 in addition to your base, or 1,000 total?
1,000 total. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're making about 5,200. Does your wife work?
I'm divorced.
Oh, you're single. Okay, all right. And how much debt have you got?
Yes, sir. Now, as of right now, I'm sitting at right around just a little bit over $37,000.
And if you take the $10,000 course, what can you make? What's the new job pay?
I've been told that entry-level position is $80,000 a year in the state of Florida.
What is it?
Software engineer.
And you don't do any coding now?
No, sir. I'm starting from ground zero.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be Dev 1. That's what you'd be coming out of.
Right.
You're going to code school, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, good. I like it. I want you to do the code
University of
school.
South
I want you to do the code school. It's a great upside potential for you. If it fits your personality style, I would go with it for sure. How much debt did you say you had again?
I'm sitting at a little over $37,000.
How much of that's your car?
18.
All right. It doesn't matter. Go to code school. It doesn't matter which way, whether you pay it monthly or whether you pay it other. You're going to get out of debt exactly the same period of time. The thing is, you're probably going to have to lower your income while you're going to code school because you're not going to be working as much. That's
Taking
the
that
thing.
into factor, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to drop off some of your OT and or your side hustle, so that's going to go down.
But your income's going to drop
You may end up needing to sell the car before it's over. But I'm going to code school, and then I'm going to work my way through this as fast as I can. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz, co-host on The Ramsey Show. If you want to do your debt-free scream live on the show, visit RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream. We'd love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story. That's RamseySolutions.com/debt-free scream.
This is The Ramsey Show.
You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career.
You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. The Ramsey Show is where we help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Michael is in Miami. Hey, Michael, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, guys. How we doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. What's up?
Not much. I'm 28, as you said, here from Miami, and I'm self-employed. Was managed to get myself out of $60,000 in debt, which took me about a year to do.
Good.
And yeah, thank you, sir. And my question is, I'm currently renting now, and I've managed to save up $550,000, and I honestly don't know what the best thing to do as far as investment-wise, and I'm honestly looking into buying a house and buying it cash. And, I know you're the perfect person to talk to about it, so I wanted to, see what the best way to go about it is.
Dude, you went from 60 grand getting out of debt to 550,000 in the bank like it was nothing. What the flip did you do?
Well, I took a lot of lumps in like 4 different businesses that I started, one of which was the reason I got into the debt, because I started with like 5,000 and the rest was credit cards. So I made some big mistakes when I was younger. And I've always been a serial entrepreneur. And, this last one I started, it's going on a year and a half now. I've due to all the mistakes I've learned from have allowed me to make it work.
Okay. So you hit a lick with your business. All right, good.
That's
and
amazing.
It was kind of after you got clear of the debt.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's interesting.
Well, before, technically, I had to struggle to get out of the debt, and then that allowed me to be in a position to start the business and then make it work, not off of debt.
No, I'm saying the 550,000 all came after you cleared the debt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
That's
get my head
amazing.
around. Good for you. Well done. Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
That feels pretty studly, doesn't it?
Oh, man, it's amazing. The challenges come up, and you just got to persevere and, stay true to your gut.
Yeah.
So have you looked, Michael, at houses in your area that you want to live for that amount of money?
Oh, yeah, I can get nice 1-1 around here in Miami. These are some of the most outrageous prices I've seen, and part of the reason why I'm still renting is the red hot market, and I know the market's kind of tapering down a little bit around everywhere else, but it's rough out here. You know, it really is.
Yeah, a 1-1's about all you're gonna get in Miami proper, in Dade, for that. That because it's an expensive market. It kind of thinks it's New York. Wow. Yeah. I mean, pretty cool. Okay, so here's the thing. Couple of observations about your situation. Number one, I'm going to send you a copy of the book Baby Steps Millionaires that shows you what millionaires have done. We studied, in the back of it is a synopsis of the study, a white paper of the study of the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, airtight research. So these are what are known as facts, not opinions with your broke brother-in-law, okay? These are facts. Now, the biggest thing that we found was the biggest correlation that we found among the people that have a million to a $8 million, $5 million net worth, the first $1 to $5 million in net worth, comes from two things: a paid-for house and a fully funded rocking 401k Roth IRA investment retirement program. Okay?
Right.
So we often found a 42-year-old that wasn't making anywhere near as much as you're making, and so it took them to 42. And they had $1 million in their 401k and a paid-for $600,000 house, so their net worth was $1.6 million. We found thousands of those that we interviewed. They're all over the place. Okay, so what that tells us is if you want to be one of those, that's your two best routes to get there: paid for house, fully funding, loading up retirement. Okay, the danger of how the wonderful experience you've had is it's the same thing that happened to me in my 20s. I had $4 million worth of real estate by the time I was 26, starting from nothing, and I thought I could just do that all the time. And I thought that I couldn't do anything wrong. And I fell prey to, and I want to warn you against this, the idea that I could out-earn my stupidity.
No shot.
You know? And it's because you've been making bank, and you can go, well, I can screw this up and still be okay, you know? And it's
hard to do out here, Dave, because, I live in a place where what I call the flex factor runs rampant. It's a lot of people.
You live in the ultimate flex neighborhood. Yeah, definite. Flex of all kinds. Yeah, it's all flexes there. I get you. Yeah, for sure. And if you don't believe that about Miami, just go to Miami Beach, okay? So, my gosh. And so you can really fall off into that and start to believe your own handwriting. So be careful. I would continue to make money and continue to live like I'm not making any money. For about 2 more years, and you're going to have all the money you want for the rest of your life, probably. Are you a single guy?
Yeah, I'm with my girlfriend, and we're going on about 4 years now. So, a couple of milestones are definitely around the corner for us. Getting married and everything.
Would it be okay to go make another $500 in the next year and a half, and bank that, and then let's talk about buying? Would that be okay?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I told her, and her parents are in real estate in the Cutler Bay area in Miami, and I'm not in any rush. And I saw your show yesterday, and what you're saying is, you definitely if you're going to get an investment property, make sure you're getting a deal. And deals are kind of hard to come by right now.
No, there's no deals. There's no deals.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I was wondering if I should look elsewhere, but I don't know.
I mean, if you wanted to move inland and move northwest out of there, up Fort Lauderdale direction, you probably can. You probably can get your prices down considerable and get in a lot more reasonable thing if you want to go ahead and get in the market. That's fine. I just don't hear an emergency here for you to buy.
No.
I do want you to buy in the next 3 years, but I don't know if I care if you buy in the next 3 months.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I get out of this lease in February of next year.
Yeah.
So would you suggest probably starting to look into some other investments, maybe a mutual fund?
I didn't even have to be. It's a year. It's not even a year. It's February. I mean, you're going to pile up so much more. How much more can you have by February?
To be honest, I'd say at least another 250.
Yeah. It's a different discussion, right? Yeah, a little bit of movement northwest and another 250 in February.
Changes it.
I just think that, and then just be careful to not try to out-earn your stupidity. And I think you're a sharp young dude, man. I'm proud of you. You're killing it. I love entrepreneurs.
Congrats, Michael.
Well done.
And if there's a ring on her finger, she may have a say on where you guys are going to live, too, after you get married. So
yeah, if you buy a house when you're a
that.
single guy, after you get married, you'll discover you bought the wrong house. So this is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you can imagine the energy of a jam-packed arena filled with people ready to experience what it means to live life to the fullest, all of your favorite speakers on one stage empowering you with tools and principles that'll create unstoppable momentum in your life, well, that is Smart Conference. Smart Conference is back. Been 3 years, and we're so pumped to get this event back on the road in Dallas, Texas, Saturday, October 22nd. The tickets are about half sold out. We'll have about 8,000 folks there, so you can still get tickets. It's not another pep talk. This is thousands of people just like you coming together all day long on Saturday, October 22nd, under one roof to learn how to build wealth, hit your goals, strengthen your relationships, marriage, your career, your mental wellness. It's all of the Ramsey personalities. You're going to have a blast. And Craig and Amy Groeschel from Life Church are going to be speaking on marriage. Tickets are only $39. And guys, that's a great price for a full-a-day event like this. Get your tickets now before they sell out. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events. And we do have 4 Building Wealth events in the fall. They are all 80 to 85% sold out. Warning, they're going to be gone soon. I know they're in the fall. I know it feels like it's a long way away, but you're not going to have tickets. And that's all that's on the books, guys. So if you want to come, you need to get tickets to these events right now. Smart Conference and Building Wealth events, all at RamseySolutions.com.
Can we chat real estate for like quick second before we get to the phones?
Sure.
Okay, so he just said on the last call, that things are kind of slowing down. Mm-hmm. And I think people were kind of feeling that even in Nashville a little bit. It's not like insane like it was 6 months ago. And I've heard you say how the housing prices will probably not dip down like 08.
Right.
So the difference, or what is the difference in the market from 08 to now? Because I've heard people say, well, I'm going to wait until the prices go back down and they're not as red hot to buy today because the prices are crazy to buy a house right now. But they won't go back. Your prediction, if you had a crystal ball, that they're not going to go back. Is it because the 08 crash had to do around all the borrowing from mortgages and security-backed loans, all of that, is it because that recession was fueled by the real estate market that it went down and this is different? Or what's the reason? Because I hear that question constantly of like, oh, people think that that the housing prices are going to go back down.
It's
like
not.
08.
It's not always as simple as supply and demand, but it almost always is. Now, what causes the supply shortage and the demand increase, or the demand to be down and the supply to go up, is varying things, and you can start looking at that. But the root issue of what drives house prices almost always is supply and demand. And that's true. So, the old joke of in an appraisal class, I was in appraisal class.
Give me an old joke of the old appraisal class.
Well, it is.
I don't know much.
Real estate has one joke, and this is it. What determines the price of real estate? Location, location, and location.
Yeah.
But not really, because... So in other words, you could take a concrete block house that's 1,000 square foot and put it in the rich end of town, and it'll bring a whole lot more than a really nice house in the dumpy, crime-ridden, horrible end of town.
Right.
Okay? So it's not the quality of the house. It's not the thing. It's not the mortgage rates. It's where the stinking thing sits. Okay? The people perceive that. Why does that affect it? Well, because more people it's more desirable to live over there. More people chasing that piece of dirt than chase the dirt over in the other end of town.
Yeah.
And so it is supply versus demand ultimately. Now, interest rates affect that. When interest rates go up, guess what? Fewer buyers.
Yep.
So the demand goes down. Thus, prices are going to soften or not be as cray-cray as they have been, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. If supply can go up, even if interest rates go up, if supply went up faster, if we could double the amount of houses on the market by snapping our fingers and interest rates went to 6%, which they are, okay, or 5 and some change, whatever, right? Then you would see demand, you'd still see, because there's 10 houses for every 2 buyers instead of 2 houses for every 10 buyers.
Yeah.
That's the problem is that we're always facing is this supply-demand thing. Now, in 2008, what happened was there was a tremendous oversupply because foreclosures went everywhere. And the market just froze. Nobody was buying houses. Had nothing to do with the economy, really. Had nothing to do with interest rates. It had to do with there was a real estate panic, and people quit buying, and there's this huge supply. We dumped a bazillion properties on the market, and all the buyers are standing on the sidelines looking at it. So almost no demand, huge supply. So you see one time in the last 100 years that real estate prices actually went down. And that was 2008. But that was huge supply, almost no demand. Now, what do we got right now? Shortage of houses. And the buyers are calming down because interest rates are going up, and supply is catching up slowly because some of the new housing stuff starting to come back on. Labor shortage is starting to a little bit be alleviated. Some of the Biden bucks are running out. People are actually having to go back to work. The lumber prices have stabilized, so new housing is coming on the market again.
Yes.
At a better rate than it was, say, a year and a half ago. So we got a little bit of supply up and a little bit of demand down, and so we've got a softening in the rate of increase of price. But you're not going to see prices go down because you're not going to see the demand versus the supply shift enough to cause prices to go down.
Okay. It's great.
That's what I keep looking at, and it's
Real
really
estate
not
101.
It's
the old appraisal class we all just got to go through, America.
Well, there you go. by the old guy. But
that's what I wanted to know though, because it's still, even within our friend group, it's like people are talking about, okay, well, buying and this, and we want to do this, but we got to hold off here, and and you hear the rumblings of we're just going to wait 12 months until prices go back down.
But here's the reason the economy and the stock market and real estate is so interesting, because it really is, at the end of the day, psychology. Is what are the buyers going to do? What are people going to do? Are they going to act? How are they going to react? Mm-hmm. And, if everybody thinks Facebook's going to be a big deal, you know what? Facebook stock goes up. If everybody thinks Apple is the second coming of Jesus, then Apple stock Apple has more money than Egypt, literally. It's crazy. And so, this kind of stuff, right? But what it amounts to is it's perception. People believe it, And they make it so. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy out there in the economy all the time. And so if enough people believe that the market is wonderful and crazy and white hot, then they go behave like that. And an asking price on a piece of real estate is no longer an asking price. It's a suggested starting point for the auction. And so because of the cray-cray, it's all the psychology on it. And so, but if everybody suddenly went, you know what, I'm going to chill. Boom. You would freeze these prices like a deer in the headlight. And so we see that like if you go all the way back to when I was a kid, like 1982, okay? And Carter, interest rates, fixed rates for mortgages went to 18%. Well, guess what? No demand. But house prices still didn't go down much.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did, it was just for a little bit. But you couldn't give a house away. I mean, if you had to sell a house, it was probably going to be maybe a little bit of a discount. But they still sat there, and then stinking prices came down to where I'm 24 years old selling houses in 1984 at 14% fixed rates. That year, they announced this brand new type of mortgage called the adjustable rate mortgage. An ARM in 1984 you could get for 12%, where your fixed rate was 14%, and people were lined up around the block. Why? Because all those people that didn't buy for the 3 years prior to that, because it was 18 and 17 and 16%, all of them came into the market in 1 year. Boom, market took off, went crazy at 14% interest rates.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
But it's all supply demand. Underlying it. Now, different things cause the supply to be up or down, the demand to be up or down, but always be looking for that. That's going to tell you what's going to happen with the market. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess? With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Judd and Christy are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
How you doing, Dave?
Great, man. It's good to have you guys. Where do you live?
We live Sandwich, Illinois, right outside of Naperville.
Okay, Naperville, Illinois. Awesome. Good to have you guys. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
And all the way here to do a debt-free scream. So let's say Gulf War veteran, thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you for your support.
How much your debt you pay off?
Around $135,000.
Cool.
Nice.
How long did that take?
We started full force around 2017, and then just paid it off April 28th, paid our house off.
Oh, house and everything.
Mortgage and all.
Look at it, weird people.
Yep.
All right. So 17, so 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started at about 100 and ended at about 140,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a paramedic, firefighter, and union plumber.
I'm a hairstylist.
Awesomeness. Very good. So what kind of debt was the 135? Just the house?
No, we had a business, we had a van, and the house.
Okay. Wow. Good for you guys. Well done. How's it feel to be free?
It feels pretty good. We just had our first mortgage payment that was supposed to go out 2 weeks ago, so it's it still doesn't quite hit us 100% yet.
And it landed mysteriously in your account.
Yes,
Yep.
and the best part about that is the mortgage company hasn't released our tax money yet, so we had to dig into our emergency fund to pay the taxes that were due on June 1st. So hopefully when we get back home, we'll have the money that was escrowed for our mortgage back from them, so we'll be able to put that back into our insurance, into our emergency fund.
Oh.
Wow, they can't even do that part right.
No, it took them a month.
Who was it? Countrywide?
Caliber
Home Loans.
Yeah. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, you got rid of them though.
Yep.
You're done, man.
The funny part with Caliber is it took us 7 hours and 9 people to figure out how they actually wanted us to send the final payment in.
No.
And we must have got 11 different ways they wanted us to send the money in, and it was pretty exhausting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, every time we called and talked to somebody different, they would tell us a different way to send it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was.
They wanted to keep you guys.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're
They
making
like
it hard.
you.
And
they like you.
And the last month that we had our mortgage, we heard from 3 different people with less than $3,000 left on our mortgage wanting to refinance.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Always.
Y'all, but you're done.
Wow.
You
Wow.
are done.
What started this process in 2017?
Well, it started a long time ago. We were Davish for years. Our parents bought the program for my wife and I, my brother and his wife, and we started on it, and then next thing you know, we bought a truck and
Just
paid
like
it off.
that, yeah.
Just bought it and paid it off quick.
Yeah.
And then we bought another car and paid it off quick. And then we bought a camper and paid it off. And then finally, just after buying everything and just something clicked in the summer of 17, and that was it. Christy had a shop that we had to shut down. Just it wasn't working, so we shut it down in April of 19. And right before COVID hit, thankfully we were able to shut it down because
thank goodness.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Yeah.
We paid the van off and paid the shop off in summer of 19, and then that just ever since we had about $85,000 left on the house, and
dig in there.
Just kept at it.
Just something in the summer of 17 it just clicked, and it was just full force.
Yeah.
Yep.
Way to go, guys. How's it feel to be free?
It feels great. Yeah, we finished our last FPU class. The last class of our first FPU class. We finished that
for church.
For
he
our
taught
church.
it for church.
And we did it there, and we really pushed hard to make sure we had it done because we were coming down here. Our daughter turned 21 last week, so we wanted to bring her down for that and roll this into there. So
push it all together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Very
That's
cool.
amazing, you guys. So what was the key to this journey to pay off the mortgage, pay off everything?
The budget.
The budget.
We struggled with the budget at first and got better. You say 3 months. It took us forever to get it down, but we kept talking about it. We kept working with it, and then we just finally, the last year and a half, it just really. We really got more in tune with it, and that's when it really started. We paid the majority of our mortgage off in the last year and a half.
Christy, what was he doing to mess up her budget?
Bugging me all the time. He's a little OCD.
I can tell. I can tell. Yeah. All right. Good for you guys. Oh man.
The envelope
doing the budget.
system also
doing the
worked.
budget. Everybody says that, but then that something that clicked is just as important, right?
I don't know what it was that clicked. It's just we would talk about it, and next thing we had a like I said, a truck payment or a camper payment or another van payment. We'd hurry up and we'd pay it off, and then we'd be debt free for a couple of months, and the next thing you know, there's a new vehicle sitting in the driveway. And
just happened. Yeah.
It just happened. I don't know.
Carvana just bought one of those little trucks over there.
Yeah, right.
It is,
right. And then it's just like I said, just the summer of 17. It just we wanted to have it done, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something clicked.
Yeah.
I can't describe it.
Yeah. So Christy, Judd got game on. He got task on, and then there wasn't no stopping it.
No.
Yeah, I love
Which
it.
I'm grateful for.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. That's good. Good stuff, you guys. Very, very, very well done. Who were your biggest cheerleaders? You said you had FPU class at church, right?
Right. They were definitely huge supporters. My parents, a couple of guys from my firehouse were huge supporters. Just friends and families, and mainly us. We talk about it to our other friends, and not everybody was really interested in it, so we didn't really push the issue and just kind of dealt with our own.
Yeah.
And that was.
But now you got a paid-for house. What's the house worth?
Right now, about 275, 300.
Love it.
It's awesome.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and you brought the kiddos with you to be in the debt-free screen,
Yeah,
right?
we got my daughter Faith and my son Lewis. You know,
So great. Happy late birthday.
Yeah, well done. Good stuff. Good stuff, you guys.
And she just purchased her first car cash.
All right. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go, Faith.
Congratulations.
I love it.
Yeah. You know, and I just, doing stuff like this and just watching our money's helped us, we've had, right, what's on the backstage, we have our 16th foster kid, and it's helped us do stuff like that over the years. So
wow, you guys.
It's, just paying attention to your money and just, like you say, telling it where to go has really helped us out.
Yeah.
And we've had education funds built up for her and for him now.
Yeah.
So she graduates nursing school next year, debt free.
Wow.
Good.
That's changing your family tree.
Yeah.
That's the stuff. Yeah, that's awesome, you guys. Y'all are incredible people.
Good job, you guys. Good job. Well done. Wow, good stuff. All right, so we're going to be a fireman, and we're going to own a hair salon or cut hair, right?
And be foster
and
parents.
we're going to have a nurse.
Yep.
And we're going to do all of it debt-free, and we're going to be millionaires.
Well, the next 10 years, I'm going to be retired, so we're not, I'm not looking at too many more.
You'll be millionaires.
Yeah.
You really will. You're on your way. You got all the stuff in place.
Yeah.
Copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you to help you guide you through this next part of your story. You guys are incredible. You're heroes. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well done. Also, a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to someone. And we're going to give you a gift card for the 1-year subscription to Financial Peace University and Every Dollar through Ramsey Plus. And you can give that away and get somebody else started because you've enjoyed it already. You got a lot of stuff you can give away that way. And a lot of people are going to want to know what you did when they find out you paid off your house. So, well done. Judd and Christy, Faith and Lewis from Illinois, $135,000 paid off in 5 years, making 100 to 140. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! That's how it's done. Woo! Man, incredible. This is the Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host. The new book is Know Yourself, Know Your Money, her latest #1. And you can learn all about that. And there's assessments and all kinds of things you can get with it. Check it all out at RamseySolutions.com. Frank is in Sacramento. Hi, Frank. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Well, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, so my wife and I, we have a question in regard to what should we do. So we own a house. We paid $334 for it. We think we could sell it for like $580 or more because of the market being hot here in California. We have about $100,000 in debt. So we're curious, is selling the right thing to do? We'd have to rent after that. We would have some money left over. So I have kind of a two-part question. Should I sell? Number one. And number two, if we did sell with the money that's left over after paying everything, what would I do with that money? Because we probably wouldn't be able to buy a house for a while.
Okay. So you have how much debt now, not counting the house?
About $100,000.
Okay.
How much do you guys make, Frank?
134 collectively.
Okay.
Okay. And what kind of debt is the 100,000?
car and credit card.
How much of it's car?
34.
Okay. So you have $100,000 in credit card debt. No, I'm sorry. You have $65,000 in credit card debt.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It says on my screen something about somebody filing bankruptcy. What's going on with that?
Oh, my wife had to file bankruptcy for student loans.
Okay. What kind of student loans? Because student loans aren't bankruptable.
Well, to restructure her private loans and stuff.
They're private. They're private student loans.
Yeah.
Okay. And are they? So she went into Chapter 13.
Correct.
And how much are the student loans?
I think about 170.
Okay. Your wife's name's on the house, I assume, right?
Yeah. No. Everything's on me.
Okay. I'm not positive Chapter 13 is going to go along with that. You have to find out the legalities on it, but her marital rights in that house in California are probably going to cause the house proceeds to clear up her debt. And I think I'm probably going to do that anyway. So private student loans, who are they owed to?
I'm not sure who her student loans are owed to.
Okay. She was obviously way behind.
Yeah, well, yeah, yes.
What's her degree in?
So she taught psychology.
Oh, God. Okay. All right.
So, yeah. So I bought the house, and then the part of the debt is, besides the car and everything, all is in my name.
Yeah, otherwise it would be in the Chapter 13.
100%.
Yeah. Her name is not on any of this stuff, or it would have been drugged into the 13.
That is correct.
Okay.
So
but you're still 10 years from today, you're still married. 5 years from today, you're still married, and she's still in Chapter 13, and still trying to drag butt out of this thing. So it's you don't have cancer, your wife does, but guess what? You're married to somebody with cancer, and guess what? That affects everybody in the family. So you can't get away from this. And now you are one, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, and all that stuff, right? So it affects everybody, even though it's somewhat separate. But that thing you did when you walked down the aisle made it not separate anymore, even though legally you've got some other weird options here. What would I do if I woke up in your shoes? I'm going to try to do the thing that causes me to be the calmest, the wealthiest 10 years from today. Not 10 months from today, not what feels good tomorrow, not what is embarrassing, not what your crazy mother-in-law thinks is smart, but what makes me best off, my family overall, 10 years from today. I'm going to sell the house. I'm going to negotiate with her student loans and try to settle them for like 120, and I'm going to pay off everything and be debt-free. She's no longer in bankruptcy. You don't own a house. You have zero debt, and you're a renter making $134,000 a year. Breathe that piece in. Now that's a place to rebuild from.
Okay, that makes sense.
But you're going to have to get the 170 down because you don't have enough equity to pay 100 plus 170. You only got about 250 in equity minus your expenses to sell.
$34,000 car.
Yeah, you could sell your car. That's true. Good call.
Right.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. But when I finish all these machete chops all over my life here, and this is like hacking at stuff. I mean, we're not using a scalpel here. I mean, this is like chainsaws and.
Oh gosh.
I mean, this is you see what I'm doing, right? I mean, we're cutting up here. This is getting it. It's like a horror movie, right? So
I just the Chainsaw Massacre.
But right? I mean, if you're going to go through all of that, the point is be done.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Right,
I wouldn't ask you to go through that and then sort of be done. I'd want to be clear, looking in the rearview mirror at all the crap and start again. And in a sense, when I went through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and lost everything and had to start completely over with zero, and I was actually still in debt because I still had a stupid IRS debt because you can't get rid of them in bankruptcy either. That's what I had. I had almost a clean break, and the opportunity to start over at 28 years old and start it over from there. So that's what I'm wishing for you, is that I remember how it felt to have a lot of crap in my life, but it's all in the rearview mirror. It feels a lot better when it's all in the rearview mirror. And that's what I want for you. So, yeah, I would sell the house if I can negotiate with the creditors. Now, you need to know that the student loans cannot talk to her. They have an injunction, a stay, while she's in bankruptcy. It's illegal for them to talk to her. So her attorney, her bankruptcy attorney that filed Chapter 13 is going to have to do the negotiation for you. But he can contact them and say they're willing to sell their house and settle this, lump sum, cash on the barrelhead, but it's going to, you're going to have to clear this 170 for 100 and offer them $100,000 on the 170 and then start from there. Because here's what I know, and I know they know it. You don't know this. 78% of the Chapter 13s fail and go into a Chapter 7. The private student loans are bankruptable. When the Chapter 13 fails 8 out of 10 times, they get zero. I know this. They know this.
Yeah.
So they know that you are a zero looking for a place to happen. So $100,000 sounds really sweet.
In Chapter 13, what's the time period?
5 years, 60 months.
I wonder how long they were in it for. How long it's been.
Not long. I'm just sensing the storyline, but yeah.
For sure. No.
But so Frank, y'all got a lot of pain and a lot of mess and a lot of regret and a lot of things you wish you could do over. If you can clean house literally and be done, chop, big swooping swings of the machete and be done. Like if you can settle these student loans for 100, clear off 100 worth of other, and be a renter making 134, you're probably going to see your income come up in the following 12 months because you have less stress. For the first time in your life, you can actually concentrate on each other and on work instead of on payments. Because she's had this hanging over her head, this $170,000. She's been carrying it around for years. The weight of it physically is unbelievable. Your body is going to change. You're going to stand up a little straighter. Your shoulders will go back a little further. The way you walk and talk will be different.
Yeah, Dr. John Deloney, we talked about this in one of the events about when you owe money, when you're in debt, and the deeper you are, the more you probably feel it, is that your body, there's this sense of urgency and fear.
It's like trauma.
Because you're not safe. You're not safe. And you don't sleep as well. I mean, all of this starts happening, like literally the physiological parts of your body. So clearing all of that, there's a sense of peace that you'll get, Frank, and it'll be a lot through all of this, but so worth it. Yeah. So worth it.
And then go make you some money and rebuild from there. You're going to be okay. Hey, hang on. We're going to put you through Financial Peace University as our gift to be held part of you starting over. We want to help you, brother. Thank you for calling. Call again if we can help.
Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We help people build wealth, do work that they love and that matters, and create actual and amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today as we take your calls. The phone number is 888-825-5225. John is with us in San Antonio. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Thanks for taking the call.
Better than we deserve, man. What's up?
Hey, so my wife and I, we were 28 years old. We got married when we were 20, we still had 1 year of college, had about roughly 45, maybe 50,000 in the bank. 28 now. We have no debt. School's paid off. and we now have about 140 in the stock portfolio. We have about 63 in the bank account. We've got about $7,000 in HSA. We've got a Roth IRA that I started with my old employer. So we're really just, I guess I technically am just kind of at a point where I'm a bit stifled as to where we should go financially, where I should reallocate funds. I don't love that the majority of our funds are wrapped up in the stock market. Technically, 37 of that 140 figure is off to the side. But yeah, just trying to figure out what would be a responsible thing to do to ensure that, we're protecting the capital gains, but also, just move forward in life. We would like to purchase a home, but she is now a full-time nurse. She started her nursing program right before 2020, and so she finished her program while COVID was still going on, but now she's a full-time nurse with the aspirations of doing travel nursing. So we don't know if we want to get locked into a home, but we do think maybe buying a townhome or a condo and then later renting that out in the San Antonio area could be a good way to make some, side money as we're traveling about. So that's kind of who we are and where we're at financially.
Y'all have done really well, John, for 28 years old. So
yes, I mean, we have, and I would say when people ask, I just say we don't live frugally, but we just live responsibly. We're just conscientious of our purchases, and
we call it intentionally. That's what you've been doing. You've been intentional.
It's really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Like a grown up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And so and you said the 140 is invested in what was that?
The whole 140 is not all invested. There's $37,000 just sitting in the stock portfolio that's not being put into anything. Yeah. Total is 140 just in that portfolio.
What'd you say your household income is?
I didn't. So now that she's a full-time labor and delivery nurse, so she's doing night shifts, so it does kind of fluctuate. Typically, she brings in about $1,800 per paycheck. So I don't know, ballpark, we're probably now around $80,000-$85,000 a year. We were only, just with my income, we were only about 45 to 50. I do maintenance for a Chick-fil-A franchise in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're making 45 to 50, and she's making more than you think she's making. The way you added that up.
Now,
so I think it sounds like you have $110,000 income to me. Okay. I mean, labor and delivery nurse that doesn't make 60 would shock me. All right. So here's the thing. You've kind of, with good common sense and intentionality, have avoided any big mistakes and created a pile of money, and now it's time to do some fine-tuning and get on a system that takes you more rapidly into wealth. Okay?
Yes.
So that's what and the system that we use, that we have led millions of people to become millionaires with, is called the baby steps. And the baby steps are to become debt-free, build an emergency fund, start putting 15% of your income away. Kids' college, if you have kids, is baby step 5, and 6 is pay off the house early. Now, if I'm doing my calculations right, between the stock and the checking account, you got $200,000 you can lay your hands on.
Correct.
I'd go buy a house.
You would?
Yep. And I'd buy about a $300,000 house. And then I'd pay off that $100,000 as fast as I possibly can, and be done with that. During the time that you're paying off this house, I want you to start putting 15% of your income away in Roth IRAs and 401ks and good growth stock mutual funds. You have underfunded your retirement while you're over here playing footsie with your stockbroker.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So stockbroker's getting ready to get cleaned out. Now we're going to do a basic, simple investing plan. It's because the two main elements I know of millionaires that we have studied for 10 years is that they have a paid-for house and a really nice, fat, juicy retirement plan. And that's the first two elements that get them up over $1 million, and that's where I just took you.
15% of your $110,000 going into retirement, and a house with only $100,000 owed on it, you're going to get it paid off. You'll have a paid-for house by the time you're 31.
And then even if she becomes a traveling nurse,
it'll happen faster.
Go faster, but also you have a place to go back. But would you rent that out?
If you pay it off
while they're gone.
Are you going to travel with her? No, you're going to stay there and work on Chick-fil-A, right?
Well, so that was the thought.
I knew it.
There's also the potential. There's also the potential. So Chick-fil-A is based out of Georgia, and then Chick-fil-A's are all over the place.
I heard the rumor.
Technically, I've thought about becoming my own LLC, and then going from Chick-fil-A to Chick-fil-A, which technically I could start doing here in the San Antonio market. I've got just this one franchise and I'm under his umbrella, but I could technically, become my own entity and then service, 2 to 3, which has been duplicated or replicated in other markets, including Florida.
You can't do that if you're jumping from market to market. I mean, you have to stay in a market a while to do that. They don't want you working there for 3 months and then your wife changes cities.
Sure. Yes. And I think that's where it falls apart. So I think ideally, yes, I would love to travel with her. But it would, it would depend on how long the stint is. If it was a 3 month or 6 month, it probably
doesn't work.
Not feasible.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah. And then it starts to be, do I want to be apart that much just for some money? And probably
she may change her mind when you have a paid for a house.
I'm thinking labor and delivery is not a bad gig. So I think you guys line it up. I mean, I'm going to set the future of the travel nursing stuff aside for right now. The smart thing to do with the track you're on is to get a house and pay it off as soon as you can. And let's get your retirement started at 15% of your income going into retirement. And sit down with one of our SmartVestor pros. They can help you do that at RamseySolutions.com. But you guys have done it. You've got really good common sense. Now let's put just a tinge of sophistication with that, and we'll lead you right through this process. Hold on, I'm going to send you a copy of my #1 bestseller, Baby Steps Millionaires, because you're an eye blink from being one if you'll do the stuff I'm teaching you. This is The Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, my co-host today here on The Ramsey Show. Inflation is affecting everyone, from the gas pump to the grocery store. And while you can't control what happens with the economy, you can control what happens with your money. When you panic and you freak out and you justify based on the craziness out there that you go crazy, you don't help anything. You have to get really calm, really wise, move a little slower, step away from the Amazon button. Don't push submit. Don't push
buy now.
Buy now.
Just add to cart. Just add to cart.
Don't even have a cart. Don't add anything to the cart. Now life is much better. See, we just controlled your budget. Now, Mr. Bezos' budget might get squeezed, but he can handle it better than you can handle it. The only way to control your money in uncertain times is on a budget. The best way to do the budget is with every dollar. You plan out your monthly budget, give every dollar a name before the month begins, and you track all your expenses through the month. The Every Dollar mobile app lets you check your budget from anywhere so you can always make the right money decisions. When you get on a budget, you will be in total control of your money. Start budgeting for free by going to RamseySolutions.com/everydollar. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Kelly is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello to both of you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I am a fairly new widow, a role that nobody really expects to be in. And I just wanted to take a moment and tell anyone out there who does not have life insurance to get it.
Wow.
You're not immune to whatever this world has to deal out to you, and no one is immune to the word never.
I'm so sorry. What happened?
Cancer. 4-year
my.
fight.
How old was he?
Fight. He was just 52.
52. I'm so
Yep.
sorry. How long were y'all married?
25 years. We were pen pals during the Gulf War. So hats off to the former people who had doing their debt-free screen. It's an amazing role.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to. I'm having trouble kind of grasping and honoring the work that he and I both did to have what we had to put away to roll over to IRAs and what have you into retirement, and watching it go in the market that we're in now. I've lost a little over 11% so far in what I had, and I know that that's not near what others have lost. I'm very blessed in that regard, but I'm just having trouble.
Did you sell it?
No.
Then you haven't lost it.
No, I didn't sell it.
The value is down. Your value is down, but you haven't lost any money until you sell it.
Correct.
Okay,
and I know that from listening to you. Yes, sir. I know that from listening to you.
How much money is in? How much money is in this account, kiddo?
Just shy of $400,000.
Okay, cool, good. And what do you make?
I make 40.
Okay, when did he pass?
About a year ago. About a year and 2 months ago.
Okay. And was there life insurance in addition to this 400?
There was. It wasn't 10 to 12 times his income, just because I had always asked him to get life insurance every birthday, every Christmas, that kind of thing, and he finally did a year before. So when we were able to, all we could afford, and given his health at that point, it was about half of what it should have been.
So how much life insurance was there?
There was $500,000.
And where is that?
With that, I have paid off the house, and I paid off all of our bills, including all the medical bills. Paid for the funeral. I gave some money to his family, and I also have some set aside to get our last child through college.
You gave some money to his family.
Yeah, they were estranged, and I just felt like it was something I needed to do. So I gave some to each of his siblings.
Wow. Okay. How much did you give estranged siblings?
I gave each of them $5,000.
Okay.
So 20 total.
Okay. Wow. All right. And so how much of that, after you did all of that, is there any of that life insurance money left, or is it all there?
It's there's still some left. I have what I need to get my son through school, and I have some for upgrades I need to make. Not upgrades, but things I need to do around the house.
Gotcha. Can you live on what you make?
I'm squeaking by. I am having trouble getting the 15% each month for retirement. To put toward retirement, but hopefully I'll be able to squeeze things and make it happen.
What do you do, Kelly, for a living?
Well, I was trained as a copywriter, advertising and marketing writer, and then I came home to be with the kids. I did some freelance. And then when Stephen got sick, we were having trouble paying for the medical bills, so I went back to work just in an admin role, and that's where I've been for about 5 years.
Okay. All right. And I'm sorry, I've been writing this stuff down, trying to track it in my head. Again, how long ago did he pass?
A year and 2 months.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry for what you've been through.
Mm-hmm.
You've done a really, really good job in a very tragic, stressful situation. You've really done a good job.
Fun too.
I'm sorry?
I said COVID was fun too.
Yeah. You've just done a really good job. I mean,
Thank you.
it's hard to be as smart as you've been while you can't breathe, and you got the grief that you've been dealing with and everything. I can still hear it in your voice, but you still made good, wise decisions. So, I'm
and I thank you for that. I mean,
I didn't do them. You
say
did.
that. I know, but I couldn't have done it without your leadership. in it all. So let me just say that.
Okay, so here's what I would tell you to do. Let's not put money in retirement for 1 year. Let's just push pause on the baby steps. Okay? And that'll give you time to get your career adjusted, get your income up, get your budget dialed in to where you can breathe a little bit and just give yourself room to cry a little.
Okay.
Okay? We don't have to tighten everything up and do everything perfect. You don't have a house payment. You don't have any payments. You don't have anybody bothering you. The kid's college is covered. All your financial stress is gone because of the work that he did, you did. And that's the way you honor him, is you continue and play through. There's not a certain movement or a certain rhythm that's different. The way you honor it is you go, this is what he would have done if he was here. This is what we would have done if he was here. And so that's the way you honor him, is you play on through. Now, what I do want you to do is give yourself a little room, because you've not given yourself any room to breathe yet. I mean, you've been just hanging on, pushing, dialing in, trying to do the right thing, fighting cancer and then fighting grief, and then, collecting money and then from the insurance, then paying off the house, and you've just been execute. Breathe, stop, relax for a year, and give your heart that is broken time to heal. Then you'll have plenty of time to start your retirement. Now, let me tell you what's magical about this. If you have the $400K that's invested in good growth stock mutual funds, if it averages 10% every 7 years, it's going to double if you add nothing to it. So you're 52. At 59, it'll be 800. At 66, it'll be 1.6. So you stopping retirement for a year, it's not going to bother a thing. At 73, it's 3.2. Okay? You stopping retirement for 1 year is not going to cause you to retire broke. I don't want you to stop it forever. I do want you to get back in the rhythm of investing after your broken heart is healing a little more. But right now, I hear a lady who hasn't stopped yet and had time to cry enough. Are you hearing that?
Yeah, I mean, Kelly, you've done a phenomenal job, but I think just taking a break and resting, I think, is wise advice. And it may clear your mind and maybe even get your income up during the year too. So.
I think you'll probably reassess your career while you're doing this year. I think that's what's going to naturally happen. It's part of your healing. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225 in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Zane and Jc are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than we deserve. So, how much debt did you two pay off?
$30,000.
Good. How long did that take?
Just barely over a year.
1 year. All right. And your range of income during that time?
We started at about 100 and ended at 175.
Goodness. Nice. What do y'all do for a living?
Me and my dad are in the used car business.
And
Been a good year?
Mm-hmm. Best year we ever had.
I bet.
And I'm going to grad school. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, but I'm finishing my degree.
Okay.
Awesome.
Very good. Good. So where do you guys live?
Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
All right. Good. Good. What kind of debt was the $30K?
Student loans mainly. We had about $27,500 in student loans, and then the rest of it was credit card debt.
Okay, and it was you. He's pointing at you.
Yes. Unfortunately, he was big into all of your books and everything beforehand, so he graduated debt free. So most of the student loans were mine.
Okay, and so how long y'all been married?
2 years.
Okay, so a little after marriage, you come home and say, we're doing this, we're getting out of debt. Took him a little while to get you figured out how crazy he really was, what you had married into. Tell me the story. What happened?
Well, I actually had known beforehand that he was really into this because we did FPU when we were dating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
You're hardcore, Zane.
Yes, he broke me in, so...
we were the youngest people in the room.
Yeah. but yeah, so we did FPU, and then we went to... actually, it was... what was it?
The Marriage and Money.
Marriage and Money event that Rachel had put on a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we went to that, and then we really wanted to pay off debt prior to being married. So we went ahead and took care of the credit card debt prior to getting married. And then afterwards, we wanted to wait to have kids. We wanted to actually go ahead and have all of our debt paid off before then. But life doesn't work that way, and we ended up getting pregnant with our son. And so we tried to pay off as much debt as we could before we had him. But we did take a break, and we cash flowed his birth just in case.
Yeah, good. And you're cash flowing your master's, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Of course you are. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good. Good for you guys. How old are you two?
25.
And 24.
And everything's paid for?
Other than the house.
Other than the house,
Yeah.
okay. Everything but the house. Good.
That's amazing.
How's it feel?
Guys.
Good.
Really good.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You did it. $30,000, man.
Being on the same page and contentment is probably the biggest thing.
I think discipline too. I think it was really interesting for me. Like Rachel always talks about budgeting, like your spending money, because that was a big thing between us on our budget. And I always wanted to have that for myself, just in case, for self-care. But yeah, just including that in the budget was important for me.
It's to make life realistic, right, in this process. Because yes, you want to sacrifice your lifestyle and get ahead, but also you want to be realistic of living today, right? So that's amazing, you guys. Great job. So did people think y'all were crazy being so young? And I wonder if what your friends said.
Well,
we didn't really talk about it a whole lot, but
yeah,
I don't know that anybody ever said we was crazy.
I don't think they said we were crazy. They were not on the same page, especially a lot of kids our age. They're not really into, doing that or paying off their student loans, So that was one thing that it was different that we were doing than other kids our age.
Yes, for sure. Amazing, you guys. So who are the biggest cheerleaders?
I'd say our family, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helping
Good.
out.
Way to go,
So
you
great.
guys. Way to go. Awesomeness. You're heroes, man.
Thank you.
And you got a new baby that come in the picture, right? Mm-hmm. And what a name and age?
Hudson, and he's 15 months.
All right. 15-month young guy. I love it. Perfect. That's a lot of fun. They're a riot at 15
Yeah, I'm telling
months.
you.
Yeah. We got a couple of them hanging out around there. Old Charles is about 2, and his little cousin Eli is about 1. So, yeah, they're hanging out in a lot of drama. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. A lot of fun. Well, you guys are fun. Congratulations, heroes.
Thank you.
You did it. It's very, very important. Very cool. So in the used car business, what are you seeing with the prices? Straight up?
Yeah. Up until probably maybe a month, 2 months ago, we were on nothing but a straight upward path. But I think we've started to level off again.
Okay. So the increases have stuck so far. It hasn't come back down. It's starting coming back down yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Okay. And there's just more supply now, more stuff available.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, maybe the interest rates and gas prices and stuff. A little bit of uncertainty right now.
Slowed everything down.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see in the next quarter how it does.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Fun. I'm glad to get a little insight from an expert here.
I know. I'm just seeing that mom
I don't
up
know
there.
about that.
Oh yes. I see her and she's like, "Okay, we got this.
Yeah, I'm like, let's just make it a couple more minutes.
You
You
got
can
this.
do it. All right, we got a copy of the Baby Steps Millionaires book for you. That's the next chapter in your story. Total Money Makeover book and a year subscription to Financial Peace University, and every $1 plus included all in a Ramsey Plus subscription. So we'll get all of that to you. Way to go, guys. Very proud of you. Well done. Zane Jc and 14-month-old, was it? Hudson. Poplar Bluff, Missouri. $30,000 paid off in 1 year, making 100 to 175. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free.
Yay!
So fun. So fun.
It's so great. Very well
The
done.
two guys were just chatting about cars and the car market, and I see her. She's like, "Okay, we can do this. We can do this."
He's not gonna melt down. He's not gonna melt down.
Sweet
on
thing.
national radio.
I
Yeah.
know.
He did good. He did good.
So good.
He was looking around trying to figure out what he did that he got clapped for.
Yeah.
Because everybody, all the audience is clapping out in the lobby. So good
so
stuff.
Great. Oh,
Very cool.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Well, I feel like all the debt-free screams this show. It's been a range of incomes, a range of debt levels, but it's still that consistent, what we see time and time again when people choose to change their life, change their money habits, change the way they've been doing what they'd always been doing, and they actually work the plan.
Together,
it works.
There's always this together thing. There's always the plan thing. And there's always this commitment, a switch flips to commit to follow through.
That's right.
And do it. You have to, as a friend of mine said to me, he said, I've been following your stuff for 10 years and I never did it. And he said, then I made the decision to submit myself. That's a strong word.
Mm-hmm.
In a culture where no one is allowed to tell me what to do, submit yourself to a different way of doing things. And continuing to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. Submit yourself to a new way of doing things. And it changes everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been widely reported by me that during COVID, I got unbelievably fat. And I ate every donut in a 50-mile radius. And so I had to submit myself to a different methodology on eating. And I got a hold of an app and I started counting calories, counting steps, and I started walking and running again. And I haven't missed a running or walking day in 780 days now.
No.
Promise you, I can show you on the app. Haven't
Is
missed.
that Dave math?
No, not Dave math at all. I haven't missed a single one.
That's impressive.
No, I take that back. I missed 3 days when I was sick with COVID.
Okay.
I did miss 3 days when I was sick with COVID.
That's a good excuse.
I was in the bed.
I'll give you that excuse.
Other than that,
that's amazing. That's
snow, rain, sleet. I don't miss because I don't want to break the streak.
Yeah.
And I have consistently logged now 2,300 meals consecutive.
Do you track every meal?
Every meal. And I lost, consequently, I lost 42 pounds. What did I do? My point is not to brag on me. I submitted myself to a system.
Yeah.
That, exercise and less intake of calories, and it's magical. You lose weight, isn't it? It's just, whoa, where'd you get that idea? It's
live on less than you make.
Live on less than you make, and you'll have money. Whoa, where'd you get that? Man, you guys ought to do a podcast. Yeah. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Hebrews 12:14. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. Ben Franklin said, a good example is the best sermon. Amen. Nathan is with us. Nathan's in California. Hi, Nathan. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm 19. I live with my parents, and I'm just trying to tackle my car debt. My parents signed me up for a car loan when I was 18. And so I have $12,000 left of it. It's a good car. I mean, it's not fancy or anything. And I'm just wanting to pay it off. And then I'm wanting to pay for my college in cash. So my question is, how much money of my income should I save to pay for my school in cash? And should I save more than that, or should I save just the amount to pay for my school?
Yeah, that's a great question, Nathan. What kind of job do you have right now?
Right now, I just have a part-time job. I'm working at a brewery, but it brings in a good amount. I get $2,000 from it a month.
Okay.
What does it take to go to school?
I'm splitting it with my mom every semester, so it'll be about like $1,200 for my portion of it.
That's the tuition.
Yeah.
And you're living at home.
No other big expenses?
Books?
Just my car, and then obviously insurance, and then they make me pay like $150 just for rent to live here. But like, yeah.
How much could you get for the car now, Nathan?
Like how much is it? Like how much is it if I sold it?
Yeah.
I think it'd be like $7,000, and then obviously I'd still have to pay.
You owe 12?
Yeah, I owe 12 on it.
That's not possible. You screwed something up. You didn't buy it 1 year ago, and it has gone down that much. During the last year, used cars have gone up. Did you pay $12 for it? Did you pay $12,000 for it?
No. We the loan has 12 left on it, and then.
No, it doesn't. You're confused. What did you pay for the car?
How much was the car new, Nathan? Do you know?
We went to the dealership, and I remember being 14, and now it's at 12. Like, that's my remaining balance.
Okay, then it's not worth 7. It's probably worth 12 or 13.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. One of these numbers was wrong, dude. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you got a car that you owe roughly on it what it's worth, and you're making $2,000 a month, and you're responsible for $1,200 of tuition plus books plus gas plus $150, right? So you can save your tuition every 2 months.
Right,
$600 a month out of $2,000 going towards tuition. Every 2 months you'd have a tuition payment. Now, the $1,200 is one semester, and you're going 2 semesters or 3 a year.
I'm going just 2 semesters a year. Yeah.
Okay, so you need $2,400 for tuition, correct?
Yeah.
Per year.
24,000.
Yeah, per year.
No, 2,400.
100 or 1,000?
Yeah, 2,400.
Oh.
$1,200.
My comma was wrong in my notes.
$1,200 plus $1,200, $2,400, and you're making $24,000 a year, and you need $2,400 to go to school.
Correct.
Okay, so you should be able to pay the car off and go to school in 1 year.
Perfect. Yeah. So how much do you think then my monthly payment will be on the car? Like $1,000?
$1,000 a month.
Perfect.
And you'll be done in 1 year. Let's just do a little math, okay? Let's take $2,000 minus $1,000 a month on the car. That leaves us $1,000, okay? And if we're going to put the tuition out evenly over 12 months, we would need to save $200 a month to have $2,400 for 1 year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that leaves us $800. Minus $150. You following me for rent? I'm doing your budget in front of you. Okay?
For sure. And then I got another $150 for my car insurance.
Okay. Well, so let's just take $300 off $800. Now we got $500. You still got to buy gas.
Yeah.
Still got to buy gas, and you still got to buy books.
Yeah.
And you're going to blow a tire.
And that's $500. That's good.
Yeah. So, but it's probably not going to be quite that smooth that you do an even $200 a month for the tuition, because you're probably going to have to do like $600 and $600 over 2 months, and then not have any tuition savings and put the difference towards your car. So put a little less on the tuition savings months on the car and a little more on the non-tuition saving months. Have 4 tuition saving months of $600 a year.
Right, that makes sense. And then I have around like $3,000 in my savings right now that could go towards the tuition as well.
Oh,
or do you
okay.
think some of that should go to
Then
my
we don't need to worry about tuition. We got tuition covered for a year. So for right now, let's start putting $1,200 a month on the car until the car's gone. You'll be done in 10 months.
Okay. That doesn't freak out, like me taking stuff out of my savings, and it's like, and it's going to be around to like $1,000 once I'm done with this year's school, and it's like.
Yeah, but no, if you have $3,000 and a year's school's $2,400, you'll have $600 left, and we'll have paid for school and have a paid for car in 10 months.
Right. That's true.
But you're saying it doesn't feel like enough. is what you're saying.
Work more.
Right. Yeah, I just don't want to get too much, because I don't want my savings to be too low. Because you say 1,000 for emergency
Nathan,
fund,
I know it feels like
I didn't
that.
say take your savings down to 1,000. I said pay your tuition out of your savings.
But then that would take it down to 1,000 is what he's saying.
Oh no, it needs to. You need to just pay your tuition out of savings, and and you're not going to go below because, dude, when's the next tuition payment? Fall?
July.
Okay.
July.
Okay, July. And then when's the next one after that?
I believe January. So yeah, I got plenty of time.
Yeah. So your car will be paid off before you have another tuition payment after July.
Oh, wow.
So you won't go below.
Best news all day, Nathan.
So just this, all we're doing with you, sir, is
It's
we're just
awesome.
walking you through planning all this out on paper. And when you plan it all out on paper, I don't care how many zeros are involved, your peace level goes up and your stress level goes down. And that's all we're doing here. Because you could hear it in his voice as soon as we start going, oh, there's a way to do this. Dad, come.
Well, and here's the deal, too, Nathan. You're 19. And from the information you just gave me, I bet your parents are wonderful, but they signed you up for a car payment at 18. So
Yeah,
they're probably not.
dumb on a rock,
well, they're
yeah.
probably not on this plan, possibly.
Yeah, I think.
So all that to say, though, Nathan, at 19, number one, I applaud you for calling in. And number two, I think you need to go through Ramsey Plus, get you a membership. If you hold on the line, Austin will pick up and get you a year
You're gonna
membership.
give it to him.
Yeah,
We'll give it to you.
we'll give
Don't
it to you.
charge him for it because he's stressed out about it.
No, we're not charging. No, I'm giving it to you because in it is going to be Every Dollar, which is going to be the budgeting app. It's going to be Financial Peace University, and you want to soak in, be a sponge, Nathan, to this money stuff. Because if you didn't grow up with it, you're kind of flying at the seat of your pants and figuring this out, right? So replay this call when it comes out on YouTube, and continue to just know, okay, here are my numbers. Here's what's going on, and be intentional. Nathan, this stuff is easy. To understand it, it's not going to be that difficult, I promise. Doing it and living life out of it is hard because your behavior has to change, and you're going to take on these new money habits. But the beautiful thing is you're doing it at 19.
Yeah, Nathan,
So-
you're not out of control. You are very mature. You're thinking ahead. You actually called a show like this. You work hard. And you have reasonable tuition and a good living situation. You have everything in your favor. You're going to win. You're going to win big. But just be doing it on purpose. Lay everything out. Map out these cash flows out of 12 months out, and that will show you. All I got to do is execute then. And by Christmas, dude, you got your car's almost paid off, and you're done. I mean, this is where you're going to be. So you're going to be just fine. You're doing really, really good. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.